Okay, so in this video, I'm gonna generate a random word and then say my thoughts about it. Let's go. Myth. So a myth. What is a myth? A myth is like kind of like a lie. A lie is like something that is not true. At least that's like what I usually hear it used as in terms of like the things I watch. So a myth can be
And now you can edit your photos there too with Adobe Lightroom. If a photobomber crowds your shot.
that was an ad. So a myth can be like a self-limiting belief, which is some like negative belief about yourself that isn't actually true, but it also like limits your capacity to improve and become better at a specific thing. And so myths, as in the context of self-limiting beliefs, they're actually pretty bad. In fact, they're probably the reason why like you're not successful in life at all. Self-limiting beliefs. So for example, so a lot of people that I know personally in my life, one person I know, he does not believe he can get good grades in school, even though I've like been trying to help him through and teach him the right ways. He still does not believe that he can do this. That's a self-limiting belief right there. Or also a myth. A myth is like a lie, not true. Self-limiting belief is a negative belief about yourself. And so what that does is limiting beliefs, they stop you from actually trying things out. They make you shy away from the things that you believe you're bad at.
Talking about GoDaddy Air. Why is the beach?
So it's kind of like let me think of something. So for example, impossible things that aren't now possible. Oh yeah. Back in, I don't know when, but a very long time ago, back in the day, Nikola Tesla actually told everyone, oh yeah, in the future, everyone's gonna be able to like, so this is our Earth. One person can be over here and another person can be over here, and they can see each other's faces through a device. And you could have a conversation with them even though they're continents away. Nikola Tesla said all this like 100 years ago, and no one believed him. They all like thought he was like crazy or something. But if you look at what's today, we have like phones now. We can like press a button and we can talk to someone who's on the other side of the world. So Nikola Tesla, he like, his brain was beyond our times. He could like predict this kind of thing. Our phones, basically. He could predict phones. That they were going to happen in the future. But a lot of people, they didn't think it was possible. It was impossible to them. But Nikola Tesla, he thought it was completely possible. And the thing is, when someone thinks something is impossible, they go away from it. It's not possible to communicate with someone on the other side of the world, so I'm just gonna stay away from that. Because you see a problem, you don't really see a solution to it immediately. Your brain labels it as impossible. And therefore, without even like inspecting or taking the first step within the problem, you stay away. You don't even take the first step. But being foolish, like Nikola Tesla, and believing that it was possible, he then started working on ideas for inventions. He probably made some like sketches on how this otherworldly face-to-face conversation thing could happen using electricity. And 100 years later, it's completely possible. It's the standard for today's world, which is because Nikola Tesla was foolish enough to believe that this kind of thing was possible. He took the first step. He actually got to solving the problem and making the sketches, coming up with ideas, and trying to foresee what could happen with this. And so, myth or limiting beliefs are very, very potent in limiting your impact on the world, because if you believe that something is impossible, for example, that's a limiting belief, you'll just never step into the problem, which then leads to you never solving the problem in the first place, whilst being foolish enough to believe that it's possible, even though you have lots of doubts. You keep on going. You don't give up because you believe it's possible as long as you keep going. And eventually, like, there's no impossible problem. Only what you think is impossible. So when you think it's possible, you actually move forward, you take the first step, and you actually solve the problem. And that's what leads to it being solved eventually in the future. So that's my thought on myth. I connected that to self-limiting beliefs and how debilitating they can be, because if you think something is impossible, you never try and like solve the problem, and so you never end up solving the problem. Whilst getting rid of that limiting belief and having a foolish belief of thinking it is possible, you're able to actually solve the problem because you take the first step. You actually do try to solve the problem, and then you're able to solve it. That's my 7 minute 45 second TED Talk about one random word, as suggested from my one viewer. Shout out to you. See you.